Coming at you, Cameroon and Argentina. Well, just as a reminder, 5 teams will qualify for the Olympics at this WOQT, the Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. And we've already watched China win a game, so they've gotten off on the right foot. But these tournaments, you got to win a lot of games. You got to win some important games. There you see China, they had some difficult moments early on, but they got to grips with Venezuela, who never quit. But they lost 77-59. Those two teams will each play Spain. And there you saw the rundown for the rest of the day. Now, here are the teams that have already qualified for the Olympics. Brazil is the host. The USA is the world champions. From FIBA Africa, Senegal, Canada, Japan, Serbia, and Australia winning all of their zones. And Cameroon came oh so close to qualifying directly last year, but they did not win their final at the AfroBasket Women when they took on Senegal. And here you have in this group, Group B, Turkey also in this group. They're not playing today. These are the rankings. So this kind of illustrates, on the one hand, gives you an idea of who's the favorite in this game. A substantial higher ranking for Argentina, although sometimes we wonder about those rankings. They certainly were true to form in the first game with China, Venezuela. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Mark Clark. And Mark, it's an Argentina team that hasn't really been getting a lot of great results this summer, but we know that this is a team that's going to fight you for 40 minutes.
Well, they haven't had great results, absolutely right, Jeff. And the one thing they do have, though, is some great continuity. Half of this team was here 4 years ago at an Olympic qualifying tournament in Ankara. The whole team was at FIBA Americas last year, so they're going to have that continuity that's can help, especially in these really short competitions. 3 games, 2 games, you've got to get a result. So they're going to know how to play with each other. You've got Zella Vega there, who's the real leader of this group, Coach Santander. And they know each other, and that is the complete opposite to Cameroon, who only bring 2 players who were at FIBA Africas last year, but it's an intriguing mix. And going back to your point about the rankings, those rankings mean little to this Cameroon team because they've never, as a group, played in anything as a competition. But they have an intriguing mix of 4 players who are NCAA Division I schools, 5 players playing across Europe, a couple of guys playing in Angola. So they've got a mix. Now, if that talent can really blend, and Coach Brzezinski's got that's a really tough ask to play against a team of all this continuity and get them to play in 2 games where you've got to win one of those games to progress. Hey, but what happened? Roll the ball out, let these guys play, because they have some athletic talent. I'll be interested to see how much defense these guys try and play and whether they get up the floor. If they do, this Argentinian team is going to rely very heavily on Guerra at the point, who had a great introduction to international basketball, and she played at that Olympic qualifying tournament 4 years ago.
And she was a member of the All-Star 5, don't forget, last year at the FIBA Americas Women's Championship. So they saw Stefano Bezzozzi, the coach, and here we see some Argentinian fans. And now we're going to have the national anthems for both teams.
National anthem from Cameroon.
Okay, I think we had an issue with the national anthems, their abbreviated versions. We'll investigate that. But anyway, the players are out at mid-court, and fans still filing into the arena here, the Nantes Metropole. And there you have the referees from Canada, Serbia, and Poland doing this game. Jasmina Juris, one of the top referees, certainly on the right. We've watched her referee many games, and
well, I think, Jeff, all three of these people are right out the top drawer in terms of officiating.
Thomas Travicki,
EuroLeague referee, and Amano from Canada has had some big games in previous competitions. So same for the referees as the players. You know, the best that we have as we look at that Argentinian roster, and it really is highlighted by Greta. And they've got what I think is a nice balance, but they may struggle athletically against this Cameroon team. And Gisela Vega's had a really nice season in Liga Femenina 1. Interesting to see how Victoria Lente does, trying to make that step up. Stephanie Thomas has had a really good standout type of career for this national team. But for me, if Greta plays well, this Argentinian team plays well. She's the heartbeat of this group.
I'll tell you what, seeing the picture of Thomas there makes me feel old. I remember her from the 2008 FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament in Madrid.
Yeah.
And 8 years later, here she is still playing for her country, for Cameroon. It's a team probably that not a lot of people know a lot about, even in Cameroon, because it's kind of a new team, if you've already alluded to.
Well, the great thing they have is some real athleticism. They have the two sisters at 6 and 8, Walija Aitia and Nelly, both at college in the States. Those guys are athletic in the backcourt, but they have some absolute size and athleticism up front. And if this team go after it on the glass, it's going to be interesting to see how Argentina, known for how they battle, is going to keep this lineup, Starling and Tambue, off the glass. And Lonlack had a stellar tournament at the Afro-Basket, leaving this team statistically one of the two players that's still here. Tell the intriguing thing, Jeff, when we look at this, is if you are Argentina, you prepare, you're thorough. This is a tough ask preparation-wise, because you don't know what you're going to get. And with these two, you're not going to know about Lonlack because their stats were there for everyone to see at Afro-Basket. Greta's not an unknown quantity. She can handle it, she can shoot. If Cameroon, as they'll be able to prepare much better for this perhaps than Argentina. It'll be really interesting to see how hard Cameroon come out if they get up the floor and press, if they try and make this a broken game. If they do, I think they could. It has the ingredients of a surprise. Can they execute that? Can they have the quality to score enough points to put pressure on Argentina?
Well, Santander, the coach, has been around, and I think really it's a perfect opponent for Cameroon to start against. They're not, Argentina typically are not a team that's going to come out and run a lot of teams out of the gym. They're going to play hard. They will be in a lot of games, and it really depends on Cameroon, I think, getting a good start under Stefano Pizzozzi and the Italian coach there, who's taking the reins of this team. And the nature, sometimes what you find in these international tournaments is, the preparations. You have issues like this, and the issue for Cameroon is getting the team together and to get here and to try to find some chemistry. And we'll probably see pretty quickly here how much chemistry they do have after not a long time together.
Well, that is it for me. And their understanding, are they going to be able to control the possession? And in some ways, it's almost, and this is a tough ask for a coach with the experience, he'll know that he'll have, obviously, he has the IQ to think, oh, Argentina will do this, we can stop that. Maybe he's got enough NCAA players, enough pros on the floor that if they can get that chemistry and gel, it's intriguing for me. I'm genuinely excited to see what this Cameroon team can do, because they could be one of the sparks of this tournament. It could really light up this day one if they can come out with a big win. But Argentina is everything about international basketball.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Nantes, France. It's game 2 here this afternoon on the opening day of the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. And it's Argentina and Cameroon, and it's Group B. And these two teams chasing the 5 spots that are up for grabs for the Olympics. And interesting, already Starling, who we were really kind of excited about watching, has come out and drawn a foul on Argentina. She's a strong player.
If they keep it that simple, little bit of movement away from the ball and isolate, this is going to be interesting, because there's some quick people going to work to the glass, but they've got to finish plays.
And she doesn't finish there. And quickly, Stephanie Thomas pulls up for the short jump shot. And you can see no nerves jangling there.
That was far too easy, wasn't it? A little dribble penetration into the elbow, feet set for the jump shot. Not expecting this Cameroon team to let those things happen easily.
And Cameroon tried to respond, and they do with the offensive rebound and putback.
For me, that'll be it. Cameroon just going to work on the glass will really give them the opportunity to really test Argentina.
That was Starling with the putback. And another easy one for Argentina, getting it inside.
Well, Thomas is making everybody look off pace on that. Little pull-up jump shot, penetration, no one challenges. Cameroon got to play some defense.
Well, Starling's going to put up another shot, and she was short, soft release, but pretty much missed everything. Now Thomas up ahead, and double dribble has been called against Argentina, and that was against Macarena Rosette. So you can see Lonlack is going to inbound the ball. Gretter is going to be guarding Priscilla Bianja and hounding her. Villegi. And a shot. And the rim not kind to Cameroon there.
Jeff, the signs early in terms of them, they look a little disjointed as we thought they might in the half court. They're running offense as in almost they're learning offense out there in terms of the continuity. So it's a little late. They get late in the clock and then someone's trying to force a shot.
Well, Gretter feeds Vega, and Starling comes from the back. Tries to knock the ball away, which she does, but she also picks up the foul on Vega.
It's a little bit too passive for me, this Cameroonian defense. They've got to try and get after this Argentinian lineup a little bit more, because they're getting the passes they want, and Vega's a big target if she posts up that deep.
Thomas doesn't hesitate, and it was right on line.
She's looking all world coming out at the start of this game. She has all 7.
Las Gigantes off and running, and you can understand why they need her in that team. And quickly to the other end is Starling, as good as advertised, the naturalized guard from South Carolina. And Vega gets inside and draws the foul.
I don't know why the Cameroonian defense is asking where the foul is. Vega made a move. No one played defense. Then they bumped her in the action. And,
and already 2 fouls on Starling, which is not good.
No.
But you saw Santander and Thomas. Thomas played college basketball as well. Clemson.
Yeah, it's like a team very influenced at the moment with an NCAA pedigree.
I mean, Thomas from Argentina played. So She's come out firing without question. And it's an 8-4 lead. Vega makes one of two. Starling's going to stay out there with the 2 fouls. Thomas playing the D. Here's Starling, gets in the lane and puts it up again short. But good rebound, but then has the ball taken away by Gretter. Here she comes. She's like a lightning bolt and comes back out. Santana.
This Argentinian team, they're not leaving anything out in terms of chance here. They've come out intensely, and offensively, their execution has been right out the top drawer. Great transition, wide open foul line jump shot.
Oh, great defense from Santana. She hands it off to Gretter. She looks up, the fast break, and Argentina off and running, but missed an easy one. Rosé. Quickly, the point guard for Cameroon, Bianja.
Well, I'm shocked that Argentina can be this active and they're just out working, getting down the floor, getting shots in transition. Cameroon just have to play defense.
Well, Vega puts it up. That was a 4-point swing with the Rosé missed layup.
Yep.
And Bianja hitting the jump shot. Benku's going to check into the game at the next dead ball. Lonlack. Now she drives in, puts it up, and draws a foul. Well, you know, Argentina have the bright start, but Cameroon trailing just 10-6 and going to the line.
Well, you know, this drive here, you see the first step. She's going to finish the play. She's got to finish that play. It's a great first step to get there. You can see how she led them scoring in Afro basket with that quick first step. But it's almost, again, Argentina, they've got to ask a question of this Cameroon team. Can you make the jump shot? Don't let them get to the bucket. Give them one shot and look after it. It's Cameroon, if they were nervous, make this. It's a 2-point game.
Oh, Lonlack, nice release.
You've got to like their chances if they can just contain this Argentinian team in the half court. You've got to like their chances of maybe getting the upset.
Got to figure Argentina has made some jumpers. And the jumpers won't always fall. Gretter, open, online, good. Well, maybe they will.
Now that's a scouting report. How can you leave one of the best shooters in, coming out of that Americas region that open? And she just makes that for fun. No rotation. Got to get a hand up on that shot.
Argentina's got to do it on both ends of the floor, though. And long offensive rebound for Cameroon. And a 3-point attempt from Njak. Monique Njak is no good. So Gretter now for Argentina. To say the one thing is the Polish referee calls the foul. One thing that's always kind of been a hallmark of the Argentinian team's play is their emotion. I mean, they thrive on it, don't they?
That's why national team basketball is so great when you got guys playing for their country like Argentina. It's the biggest deal you can get.
We'll say beautiful play, Vega. Nobody there to stop Vega. Boy, they're running some nice stuff on offense, aren't they?
But a baseline penetration, one player helps, no player rotates. You just scramble. You got to drop to the line of the ball. Got to help the helper.
Lonlack gets in, has it knocked out of her hands into the hands of Thomas. 2-on-1 break. Beautiful pass from Thomas. And Vega, the center, runs the floor. And Argentina, look at that. Might want to save some of that emotion for the games coming up. But they know this is a vital game for them. And they have forced Cameroon to take a timeout.
Well, if you are Argentina, well, if you're Argentina now, Jeff, 4 minutes to go in this first half. You've knocked down 17 points. but you've got them in places you maybe didn't expect to get them. You've got them in transition. You've got stuff going to the basket where no one helps. And it's just their basketball IQ at the moment is just out. It's just giving them the advantage. I was just expecting Cameroon to go out and just go, let's play some defense. Let's get out there and press. Let's be really aggressive. And that hasn't been there. And they're getting beaten in areas where just the individual IQ of the Cameroonian players should be up to things like simple helping helpers and actually look at offensively to get shots they want. But there's a good feel about this Argentinian team. They're always an emotional team. And they've brought a very, very good attitude and a good mentality to the start of this game. And you can see why.
We saw it yesterday in training, didn't we? I mean, they were having a good time out on the court, singing songs to the players and the coaches when they ran out onto the court. They're in a good mood. They've been together for several weeks now, and they're hoping it's all going to lead to a spot in the Olympics where the men have already qualified. Dredder. Oh, beautiful pass to Vega. Vega drives in and draws a foul. So the foul on Njok. And so she may have grazed her arm a little, but perhaps a little hard.
It's just the thing that is disappointing if you're a fan of Cameroon is that penetration was just so easy. You know, Gisela Vega, she's already had a great professional career, had a good season last year in Liga Femenina in Spain, but putting the ball on the floor and beating people on penetration is not something that you scout when you're guarding her.
Well, offensive rebounds off missed free throws, bounced right into the hands of Santana. And another chance to go up by double digits. Redder takes the shot, and that time I saw a lot of white shirts under the boards, and they come away with it.
So you'd like to see them at this point. They've got it in transition. They don't have to get it into a half-court set. You know, keep being aggressive coming out of transition. I think Cameroon have all sorts of options where they can really hurt the Argentinian defense.
Yanja.
And they end up with a shot like that when they could have had something in transition.
Santana hands it off to Sandro Pavon, the veteran who's come into the game. And the bounce pass goes off of Santana. Yanja now. Almost has it taken away by Thomas, but then her pass is errant. So Wileji is going to come into the game for Bianja.
Substitution for Cameroon, 5 supplied by the Hayes Lily Wileji.
You commented on that emotion for Argentina. Jeff, where's that mentality for Cameroon at the moment? They don't seem to have that mentality of playing national, that you need playing national team basketball.
A lot of this is because these Argentinian players know each other well. They've played together a lot. Now here's Greder. Gets inside, puts it up, and are they going to call it? Nope, foul before the shot. But boy, we've seen enough from Greder to realize she's a heck of a player, isn't she?
Oh, I was fortunate enough to be in Turkey at the qualifying tournament 4 years ago when she arrived as a kid, basically. And 18 minutes, she was averaging almost a point a minute, and she just exploded. And Argentina, with a relatively, by their own standards, a relatively weak lineup, almost got into those London Olympics, and caused a few upsets. But and she was one of the reasons. And she's just continued to develop. You know, she'd have been 19 years old 4 years ago and played a little like that with just this fearless approach.
Oh, and look at Greder. She just takes it right away. She goes in, she puts it up and in. And Argentina threatening here to run Cameroon out of the gym. We're up by 13. Well, you simply cannot give away easy baskets like that. 7 points for Greder. And that was a good response from Njok.
Oh, that's a tough move, isn't it? But again, didn't have to set it up when they pulled it out. At the end of the break, she still wanted to be aggressive. Nice pull up.
Pavon, and she's out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds.
It amazes me how often players do that. I mean, It's not hard to see the sideline in these gyms with a great, like the way the court's set up. So early in the game. I mean, if Cameroon could get a bit of a foothold here, keep it in single digits, I just keep hoping for them that they find a way to adjust to the level, because they have some good signs.
Andrea Boquete's come into the game, number 8 for Argentina. She's got the rebound. Hands it off to Gretter. Agostina Borani also in the game, number 10. She's got the ball now. And she travels.
Until she traveled, that was Gretter's just pacing this team. Got it back after transition, moved it. A great change of angle to the inside. It was, it's really nice to watch at the moment. Argentina share it, move really well, and Gretter's just orchestrating.
Celia Fioretto in the game for Argentina, number 9. Tambui back into the game.
Suddenly just looks like he's looking for a combination at the moment. He's throwing people in there, see what feel he gets. It's a disappointing start for Cameroon, but there's plenty of time. And
Tenkela into the game as well for Cameroon. The big center underneath the basket. And the penetration and the N1 coming. Terrific move for Cameroon's Ramses Lonlack.
That's a tough move coming to get it. It's almost like let's stop trying to overcomplicate in the half court. Keep it simple, be aggressive. As long as you share it, if there's help, then you're going to get a good look. Because they're a tough team to contain for Argentina. Before Argentina's defense gets set, Cameroon have chances to really have an advantage.
And you've also got some reserves on the floor right now for Argentina. So now might be the time for Cameroon to make a move. Boquet. Oh, beautiful passing though. What? Just did not finish. Borani. But they really do run their half-court
they run
sets
some
well.
nice stuff, yeah.
Oh, big, powerful move inside. But Tenkela couldn't finish.
Wow, Tenkela playing in a tough conference, in the NCAA at Hofstra. Like, again, didn't have to pull it out. She gets in the low post early. They give it to her, and she's got to finish that play, but they're getting better looks if they keep it loose and keep it in transition.
Borani at the line. Back to Boquete. Gretter wide open, but that's off to the right. And Tenkela gets the ball in bounds to her teammate. Right at the end of the first quarter here, will Cameroon get a shot off? They're going to put up a desperation shot and don't really get anything good. So they trail by 8 points, but mini recovery there from Cameroon to indicate there's a long way to go in this one.
Well, I said, Jeff, they keep it in single figure. They're right in it. They're going to get a run at some point, but they did towards the end. 8-point margin is nothing. The 2-point numbers, with their weapons that they have, they're not going to shoot 33% for the whole game. And I'm not sure if Argentina can go 67% for the whole game. So those two stats are going to come closer together. Rebound-wise, Argentina even have the advantage on that, because that's Cameroon who shot so many poor shots.
But I have to say, Mark, I think the way that Argentina run their half-court offense, they are making some good passes and getting some good looks.
Well, then Cameroon only went to the zone towards the end of that quarter, so it's like, okay then, we've got bodies in the keyway now, so they can't get beaten on that back cut. And then what a great start it was for Stephanie Thomas, who came out, who just ignited that Argentinian team. And now, it's a 21-13 margin. If Cameroon can just prevent the easy options for Argentina, stop diving out. Maybe the zone will help them do that. And I do like it if they stop getting down into slow down basketball when they get into the half court, because they don't look like the team, whereas Argentina looked great in the half court. Cameroon look much better if they just get it, run and get something early if they can, and then crash the boards. I think they're going to get a lot more joy out of running that type of game. You have to be a brave coach to run that, though, because it puts gray hairs on your head. trust your guys, see what you get.
Well, this is the second game as you look at some of the highlights, and Thomas coming out with that fast start. The second game of the day here in Nantes, France, the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. China pulling away from Venezuela in the first game and getting off to a winning start in Group D. This is Group B. And second quarter action now underway. Coming into the game, number 13, Deborah Gonzalez. For, oh, what a pass from Boquete, and Borani nails the jumper. They just look like a machine.
Just deja vu, and as simple as a penetration, but the defense just looked at the penetration. Penetration was always going to pass. Great execution by Argentina, though, but Cameroon get after it.
Lonlack gets it inside, and the travel turns it back over to Argentina. Remember, you know, maybe we've not respected Argentina enough, remembering that they beat Brazil in that third place game last year, FIBA Americas Championship, and three-point shot from Boquete is good.
Oh, simple, isn't it? He sees her open, gives her the ball, she's open in transition, feet set, just knocked it down, and Cameroon again gone very passive.
And Greta is called for the foul. She grabbed a hold of the big center, Maeva Tenkela. She was going past her. She's going to sit down.
Greta does it, plays a lot with the palms of her hand, and challenges the official sometimes to make the call, but there you see the push in the back, and then she holds the big on the screen.
Yeah, kind of a cheap foul to give away.
Yeah.
And Santander brings her out and inside to Tenkele, and she travels, and it's kind of one of those moves where giving it to the post player.
Yeah, you have to let her get there and establish. Don't give it to her on the move.
She might develop, but clearly she's not that comfortable right now.
It's great the way they're trying to find her, but they're just going to give it to her where she can, you know, she can use what she has. Just wait, just be patient, let her establish the position.
Gonzalez, and ball stays out. Good hustle from Vega. She started to get down to the ground, but ended up not going all the way down. The ball went into the hands of Cameroon.
Made a veteran decision not to hit the floor, I think, that one.
Jump shot from Njok. She's hit a couple of jump shots.
Well, Njok, you know, earns a living in Italy in terms of Ragusa, and that's a nice stroke from mid-range. But again, more controlled, not really off of the set, penetration and transition to the open jump shot.
Foul called on Njok.
Jeff, we're in the second quarter. The referees have called it pretty consistently throughout on that sort of cut. And every time Cameroon look around, they've just got to adjust. The referees are doing a good job. There's no reason to look at the official. Keep your hands out. Stop the hold.
Yeah, it was the hold, all right. And from the corner, Vega with the rebound. Goes right back up and in.
Tough move. Veteran move.
Impressive putback from Vega. And now 13 points is the advantage. Gonzalez trying to play the D. And Boquete with the rebound. Borani. Well, it looked awkward, and the referee called the travel.
Jeff, they aren't just arriving down the floor. Their execution in transition is out in the top drawer in terms of where they're going to, which holes they're trying to get into. I know Borani traveled, but they were so beautifully spaced, and she just popped into that high post area. And you know, great work guard-wise as well. The decision coming down the floor at the point was just out of the top drawer. That's a great example of how to run the play.
Mafula's come into the game, number 11. He's out on the perimeter for Cameroon, but it's going to be the drive inside, and Tenkele goes up for the offensive rebound putback. And she is going to draw the foul. That's what you call sticking after it. Staying after it.
You can see what she brings. She may not be the refined article yet, but when you've got this size and you play this hard on the glass, you're a handful.
I mean, she was rebounding that ball over Vega.
Yeah.
But the foul was on Boquete, Andrea Boquete, and the game now is just 10 points.
It's not a bad stroke on the line for game one.
Well, Gonzalez has to be careful raising that left forearm as well. I thought she might have gotten away with one. They called the foul on Lonlack.
Again, it's because of the reach that made it easy for the official to call the foul that way, but you're absolutely right. But Gonzalez has done a nice job coming in for Greta. They've got nice rotation, nice balance, this Argentinian team.
Well, this time Thomas had the three-pointer blocked.
Interesting signs here for Cameroon. If they can just
that was
be aggressive. Yeah, be aggressive right now.
Getting the ball into a difficult spot there, and that time a little push off perhaps went unnoticed for Cameroon from Lonlack. Now, Thomas has just had a shot blocked. Here's Vega. Spins, gets inside, and referee this time says good defense. Watch this. Tenkele. That was a good, looked like a good call. A good no call.
Yeah.
And Bong checking into the game, and Tenkele comes out. I'd say she's shown us enough here to suggest she can be a factor in this game. Tenkele.
She's got to find the right way to use people like Tenkele.
Or Tenkela, excuse me. Well, Gonzalez out on the corner. She gets into the lane. And Borani crashes the boards and draws the foul from Mbong.
Well, and coach is absolutely right to be, disappointed. Simple penetration, but no one rotates, no one drops, no one is active. The only person was Borani who was active on the floor.
Kete gets it back to Vega, passes over to Borani. Basketball, simple basketball. They make it look good, don't they?
Movement away from the ball. Great activity, great back cut when the defense turned their head.
And the offensive rebound, and the ball foul is going to be called on Cameroon, crashing the boards. Another look at Borani going down the lane.
Tio Waliche was just standing on the weak side on that cut. Borani still has to recognize it. Basketball IQ-wise is a bit of a demonstration at the moment by Argentina.
And this time a moving screen called on Borani. Moving pick. So that's her first foul. Lonlack has it in her hands and gets it over. Gets it back. Lonlack, the jump shot. And Cameroon kept it alive, but Argentina came away with it. Midway through the second quarter. Ball out of the reach of Vega. Well, this Cameroon team not really finding it any easier going up against some of the reserves for Argentina. And the depth is crucial in this tournament. And a foul out on the perimeter. That was what we saw in Venezuela. People highlighting the fact before this tournament that Venezuela were equal with Argentina, but I'm not convinced that's the case.
There's still a gap in terms of their basketball IQ, definitely, and especially if a team like Argentina comes out as focused they have and executes as well. This Cameroon team just got to be a little bit more aggressive in terms like that. Yeah, he came off 2, 3 passes. Look at the shot. Be aggressive.
Well, that was Lonlack. And one of the players from last year getting it done from long range there. Just, I think that was a 2. So Lonlack takes a seat. And Cameroon just kind of hanging around right now.
Están alternando entre la defensa zonal individual, las últimas fueron individuales. Vamos a ver si los podemos desajustar después de 2 o 3 pases.
Well, they're starting to get closer together. We said didn't think they would shoot 67%. It's dropping a little bit, and we thought that Cameroon would pick it up a little bit, and it has. I still, while it's 8 to 10 points, I think Cameroon still have an opportunity here because I don't know how much better Argentina can play. Because off the ball, they're moving really well.
Defense,
when Grit is in the game, they've got good deep perimeter threat.
Easy shot.
You know, they look like they're a really well-oiled unit.
Sweet.
This Cameroonian team, if they just get down there, 2-3 passes, try and make something happen, a little bit of control, but stop trying to run half court, slow down basketball. They are just so inefficient statistically at the moment. When they actually get down to the late clock, they have nothing to run, and it looks like anyway, effectively. When they go early, they get a lot of positives out of what they're trying to run.
And I think also, as you look at Lonlack, we were talking about the emotion that was perhaps lacking for Cameroon, but it's starting to come out right now with her. She's really trying to get her team fired up in this one.
Well, because she's the guy that's been there before and wants to be there again. So interesting to see how this develops. Almost key 4 minutes here. Oh.
She didn't drop off to help out, but they still escaped. Somehow they missed a layup.
Oh.
And Biaggi gets inside, gets blocked. And that was number 9 with Fiorotto getting the rebound. Now a foul called against Cameroon.
See, if there was a foul in this play, the foul was there. The foul had happened, and I think it's almost the referee trying to let it go a little bit. But that's why there's a bench asking the question now, well, why did you call it then? Coaches can ask.
Absolutely.
In the right way. Even though it's the first half, Jeff, even though there's a lot of time left, I think if Cameroon could get into the locker room 8, 10, 12 even down, they're right in this because I think they're going to get going to get better and better as this tournament progresses. And I'm not sure if Argentina can actually sort of go to another level if Cameroon do get a run.
There's Lonlack, gets inside, and nobody picks her up.
Tough move because there was a lot of help. The second move was a great handle.
Well, she's playing with some self-belief. You want to get the rock in her hands every trip down the floor. Now Thomas, she drives in, has a decent shot, but misses. Vega with the rebound.
You can't say enough good things about why Vega's working on the glass. That's another offensive rebound for her.
Gonzalez over to Fiorotto. And Fiorotto travels.
That's 5 rebounds for Vega. And you know, she's strong, she's big, she's experienced, but she's going against some very young and talented athletic players. She's outworking them as well as outthinking them at the moment.
Well, this is interesting. An important substitution, really, with Santander realizing the grip on the game has been loosened. Gretter comes back into the game, as does number 5, Ornella Santana.
Well, that's an interesting. I thought the referee was part of the floor. If it comes off the referee, so what? It's just play.
Bianja now inside, and Mbong misses. Thomas. Yeah, get into the hands of your point guard, Argentina. Gretter. Well, Thomas is going to put up a 3 off the back of the rim, and Thomas hands it off now to Vega. Well, somehow they manufactured a basket out of that one. Just a little bit of hustle on the offensive glass.
Yeah, good thing. If you work hard enough and outwork your opponent, good things happen. And Cameroon with a good stop, a great defensive series, just couldn't secure the defensive rebound. Again, Vega's a factor in this game.
Lonlack Look at Gretter. Boy, it's hard to keep up with her. And jump shot no good. Another offensive rebound, this time by Santana. Now Gretter takes the contact. And this time the jump shot is good from number 8 for Argentina, Andrea Boquete.
Well, we can talk about the IQ of Argentina, but it's their work rate that's generated this 14-point lead, because Cameroon have had a couple of defensive series that were decent, and they just couldn't secure rebounds. They got outworked, and then they've made another poor decision the other way. Game was there for them to get right in it.
3-point attempt. And again, Boquete trying to keep the ball alive. She knocks it out. Orani comes back in. Thomas comes out. So 2 fouls on Boquete. And Lonlack with the team down 14. One of these situations where, you know, Cameroon have kind of dug themselves an early hole. You know, sometimes it's kind of difficult to climb out of it, isn't it?
Well, especially if, and Santana did a great job getting the starters back into the game towards the end of this first half.
Lonlack, back of the rim. And ball goes back over to Argentina. Louis going to come into the game for Lonlack. So we've got a timeout on the floor with 1:38 remaining, and Argentina, having seen their control on the game loosen somewhat, now back in front by 13.
Well, Coach Santana, you mentioned it in commentary. He got his starters back in. And from the moment he got his starters back in and get them on the floor, all of a sudden you were back to Argentina dictating the game. But then, again, that really did coincide with Cameroon coming up with probably 2 or 3 of the best defensive series in terms of they held well. They didn't let it go inside too easily, but then they gave up offensive rebounds. And you know, those rebound numbers are just not really what you want to see from a coaching perspective.
For the Cameroon, yet to hit a 3-pointer. Being out rebounded.
9 second chance points for Argentina is a big number when you look at how they've got those points. That's an easy fix if they can just stay tight enough in this game. It's close enough in this game. It's 1:38 to go, 13 down. I still think if they're 10, 12 down, they're still right in this. Get some early offense going where you're under control, but keep giving yourselves options.
A bit of pressure. Argentina got it across midcourt, no problem, but perhaps made it take some time off the clock. Facing some man-to-man here. Gretter. And a foul, a reach on Yanja late in the shot clock.
Well, late in the shot clock, you're already in the penalty. You've got help that's already there, and you reach on that play. That's it's not the smartest play you've seen in the game so far by Banja. Greller is also, on top of everything else, she's an excellent free-throw shooter. She's way into the 80s in most of the last 2 or 3 tournaments she's played for Argentina.
And that takes it back to 15 points. Well, the Serbian referee was over presumably to say something about the shot clock. Maybe they're saying the foul wasn't on the right person.
Cameroon have to win these last 118. They have to be no worse than this. Maybe get it to 13. I think they've got to go in being positive. It's a big momentum time for them this last minute. because you know Argentina are going to get momentum if they finish this half well. And that could really make the game difficult.
Oh, beautiful pass from Bianja. And just didn't get it to the right person, though. With Tambui blocked twice.
Well, there's your emotion play, but not if you're a Cameroon fan. You didn't want it that way around at all. And Greta's now going to try and eke out some time. Oh.
Well, her pass inside goes out of bounds off of Cameroon. And we're going to have a timeout called by Santander. To see Borani getting a couple of blocks.
I mean, it was very, very deep in the shot clock, so her chances to actually recycle that were pretty limited. But they got a good look. They got the ball in a good area, just as you said. It's the wrong person trying to go up.
Saca Andrea. La formación zonal contra la salida contra la zona. Melissa, Sandra, ¿sí? Ornella y Agostina. No anuncien hasta que la bola no llega al medio.
Well, we talked about how good the starters were, and you're going 11-3 against the other bench. You know, you've got that balance in scoring. And I like momentum moments, and if you're going into the half, you've got an out-of-bounds play. If he gets a big play here, this Argentinian team's going to be bouncing going into the locker room. And an Argentinian team that's bouncing is a tough team to try and stop. Because you said they love to be here, they love to play. And Cameroon somehow have got to try and stop that momentum. Stopping the defensive out-of-bounds play here, getting the stop, getting something out of that with 39 to go in the half. Maybe it sounds like I'm clutching at straws for Cameroon, but they just need something to get a real foothold.
So the final 39.8 seconds in the first half. And Greta takes it out. Now she's going to step up and take a three, and she's going to nail it. And they could get the ball back because she took that 30 seconds. And that was a confident stroke from Greta, who's been terrific. 12 points. Bianja called for the double dribble. And now it's 41-23.
Jeff, it was an 11-point game, and Cameroon had the ball. And it's all of a sudden, they could go down, they could go in 20 down here on the back of just some smart play by Argentina and some questionable decisions on the floor by Cameroon.
So the final 10 seconds here. Greta gets in the lane, hands it off. Oh, basketball 101. The beautiful pass. And Santana converts it. And instead of Cameroon recapturing some momentum, it's Argentina on the strength of Greta's three-pointer and this basket from Santana, which has put them in a very good mood indeed.
I'm going to get the stats, Jeff, and it's it's going in the right. You're bringing down that percentage by Argentina, but with 45% from the three-point line, basically on the back of Greta, who just in the last 2 minutes just took over the whole game and made that 11-point lead, made it a 20-point lead, just on the way she ran the whole game, starting with that out-of-bounds play. 11 assists. It's just an excellent team performance by Argentina. They look the IQ basketball nation right now.
Yeah, they look prepared, and also suggesting that a lot of some of those results that we saw in the build-up to this women's Olympic qualifying tournament perhaps misleading. They're building for this tournament, and they want to peak at the right time. But much that we said that that Argentina was the ideal opponent for Cameroon. In some ways, Cameroon's the ideal opponent for Argentina.
Well, that's definitely how the ways, because Greta has just IQ'd them out of the game in terms of she's made great putt. 4 assists, top scorer. And she's got great leadership from Vega on the floor. They've got so many things going positively for them. A short tournament. This is a great start for Argentina.
So 43-23, Argentina on top of Cameroon.
Alors qui joue au premier niveau de l'intégrité et fair play. Pour en savoir plus, rendez-vous sur le site internet FIBA.com et participez au concours pour gagner un ballon de édition spéciale. Mesdames et messieurs, ça va se passer sur le cul maintenant avec les internationaux partenaires internationaux de la FIBA.
43-23, Argentina on top of Cameroon here at the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. And it's been a case of Argentina starting fast, Cameroon starting to come back, and Argentina right at the end of the first half just really landing some punches that make you wonder if Cameroon are going to have enough to recover.
Well, Melissa Grita, for me, Jeff, has been not a surprising revelation, but just her level and her consistency in the way that she's made other people around her look better, be better, get easy options. She's just run this whole game. When she's been on the floor, the 12 or so minutes that she's played, she has been a different level in terms of the output that she's produced. And I just love the way this Argentinian team just loves to play for Argentina. Their emotion at the start of this game just stamped their authority on it right away. And their basketball IQ is phenomenal. And as we said just before the break, they only led by 11 with 2 and a bit to go, and they just took over for 2 minutes. And any chance of Cameroon having momentum going into the half was just taken away, largely by Melissa Grita with just the 3, the assist, and the penetration in transition. That was just a great demonstration of how to run your team.
I think it was pivotal for Argentina to get off to a fast start, though. I think they were ready, and they came out and executed. They got what they wanted and put them into a good position.
Stephanie Thomas was just, you said idle, making how hot made you feel a bit old because of how long she'd been here. But she looked like she'd been there for the first time. She was so excited to be able to play, came up with the first 7 points. Great start by her.
Well, you never know. It could be her only chance to make it to Olympic Games. And that's what this is all about. These teams chasing the 5 Olympic berths here at the 12-team Olympic qualifying tournament. So second half action underway. Cameroon with the ball, trailing by 20 and needing to make some inroads immediately. And Biaja is denied by the rim.
She just has to go up on that play. She had the layup, then she stopped, and the whole defense got back in and were able to challenge the shot.
Sandra Pavón starts the second half for Argentina. And Starling picks up another foul. She's now got 3. I think we expected her to be more influential in this game, but
and the 2 fouls early, they decided to sit her with the 2 fouls, and then she picks up a 3rd in the first, defensive possession. It kills you as a coach when that happens.
4 on the shot clock. They work it over to the corner. Starling with the rebound. So Rosé missed, I think it was Rosé that missed the jump shot. Biaja puts it up and in this time. Excuse me, that was Wileji.
Yeah, Wileji's nice move with a little drop step and went up strong, used the glass really well. Possession by possession, stop and score, stop and score. Try and get themselves close enough to make this a game.
Rebound into the hands of Cameroon. And Biaja has it, guarded by Greta, who basically took the game by the scruff of the neck at the end of the first half. And a jump shot there. Starling, the player that we were expecting to be big. And starting to make a couple of plays. Back to 16 points.
That was much more controlled. Again, though, they didn't get into a set. It just came down in transition, got a little bit of action, and then the skip pass created the opportunity for Starling to pop to the elbow to shoot the jump shot. And I just think the simpler they keep this, the better.
Greta open, but had a hand in the face. And somehow Sandra Pavón snuck in there and got the offensive rebound. But shot clock expiration now. Kristen Santander is arguing that some iron was drawn.
Well, I automatically thought that it hadn't when it went up, but and all 3 referees were on the same page, so I'll go with the 3 officials.
Ooh, I don't know. I think he got it.
Yeah, I think probably did.
Well, Lonlack drives in and scores, and just like that, we've got ourselves a 14-point game again.
Lonlack has 12 points on 4 from 8. She's been so efficient, so effective. A little bit of swing here Cameroon's way. Need another stop.
Well, they give up the easy one inside. Bokete.
So frustrating. You know,
Santana, excuse me.
People over helping, and they give up an 8-foot wide open look. They really needed to stop. Oh.
Thought Starling was going to go to the basket.
Yeah.
Willegial, beautiful passing inside. Great patience from Cameroon. And Tenkela back in the game. Well, it seemed to have made some adjustments at halftime.
Nice penalty. They didn't come out until about 30, a minute and 30 before the start of this second half.
Boy, it looked like Vega may have dragged her foot. That's why as a coach, you can never really complain too much because sometimes those calls go your way, sometimes they don't. Good defense from Pavon. And no, that's a forced shot. They're fortunate to get it back, Lonlack. And she puts it up and in. And just like that, a 20-point halftime lead has been cut to 12. And Cameroon are right back in it. Well, I have to say, I didn't expect this. I didn't see it coming.
Well, I definitely didn't see it coming this quickly. I just, maybe they would get a little run, maybe they'd get it to, be down 10 at the end of the third or something, but then they're outworking Argentina, and all the emotion that was there for Argentina at the start of the game just seems to have evaporated in that halftime locker room.
Maybe by taking the 20-point lead.
Well, there's a happy huddle, a 10-2 start at the start of this third period. And they've done it by being simple, by being aggressive. But defensively, they've also made some adjustments in terms of the help. And I know we said they spent a lot of time in the locker room. By contrast, Argentina were in and out. So, maybe they came in thinking, well, we're up 20, we're fine. But there's no way they're up fine there. And Starling in particular and Willegial at the start of this third period have done a great job getting easy looks.
Yeah, Starling was a non-factor.
Yeah.
Because of the fouls, because of, just coming into the team. And really, maybe that burst of points for Argentina led them to feeling comfortable.
Well, just when you need something to calm yourself down and reestablish, Rita just goes at it, breaks the defense down. I think she's taking a hard bump as Tenkela came across and bumped her. I think maybe she rolled her ankle slightly, but definitely took a hard hit. She's feeling that ankle a bit gingerly. But,
well, the word indispensable comes to mind when you think about Melissa Greta. And there she is, coming back down to earth. I mean, she was just outstanding in the first half.
Well, we said right at the beginning of the game, as she goes, so Argentina goes. So if she gets back into the space she was at, it's going to be good news for Argentina and the fans that are in the gym, of which there are a few.
Yeah, it's a good turnout for these afternoon games here at the start of the Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. Oh, and a pass. Turnover.
Bianca's got to take responsibility. The coach has given her the responsibility to come down, get it established, and she just throws the basketball away when her team has got every bit of momentum going their way. It's just, they're in a very deep hole. You can't make little breakdown mistakes like that. More mental than anything else.
Greta finds her way in, gets it to the corner. And the three-point shot. Wow. Shooter's roll. Santana. Or Bokete, excuse me. They look like twins, don't they? Both dark hair, both ponytails. And the drive no good. Vega with the rebound. Here's Greder off to the races again. That ankle looks okay there. Pavon inside. Vega, and Vega travels.
Vega, you spotted it before. She has that tendency to drag if she doesn't make a crossover step. The referee's right on the right call, but they've dodged a bullet, Cameroon, there, because all that work they did to get it back to 14 to 12, it's eking out to 16 again. And it's not because Argentina have done that much different.
Lonlack drives in, nobody's crashing the boards. Greder goes behind the back. Vega gets it, puts it up, and a little bit of a reprieve for Cameroon. She was in a good position. Lonlack puts up a three. Good. She put the guns back into the holster. What a play from Lonlack. 15 already. So it's back to 13 now. Vega has it knocked away, gets it, puts up an air ball. Now Bianja. Bianja passes to Starling, goes up strong, and it's back to an 11-point game.
Much, much better decision by Bianja in transition there. Was under control, and if they're under control, they're right back in this.
And Jock going to check back in the game. Starling, you can see, starting to put up some numbers. Vega with a pump fake, puts up the jump shot. Not much arc, but if it goes in, it doesn't matter.
That's her game, that mid-range game. She's so effective at it. And she's deceptively quick on that little jab step and then the pullback on the step back. She's very, very quick, but it's still a tough shot. So they made her make a tough shot, and that's all they can ask.
7 on the shot clock. Lonlack, gets in, takes a very difficult shot. Argentina packed the lane. Now Greder gets the pass to Vega, who's hit from behind. And that was a good foul called on Bianja.
Coach Mazzotti's he's got that real minute management issue now because his players have done very well, but some of them are starting to read. They put a big effort in these first 7 minutes. He's got to get into his rotation without losing that momentum. And sitting down Tipiela, regardless of what she does, she's such a big presence underneath. And you sort of build your defense from inside out, and she just took away a lot of those easy penetrations just by being in the lane.
So this is interesting now with Burani back into the game because she's caused some problems with her quickness.
Yeah, absolutely. She did a really nice job in that first half.
Lonlack and also Llorente now in the game, the youngster, the 20-year-old. And ball knocked out. Now Greder has it. Here she is, first look, hands it off to Burani. Burani scores!
Well, you called that, credit where it's due. When she came in, you said about her quickness. She caught it and exploded to the right side. And again, it's like, you look, if you're at a Cameroon bench here, you're saying, look, we're in it. Make her make tough shots. So they give her a run and layup.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. I mean, there's no question about it. She's kind of going away from the basket, throws it up off the backboard. And you can see that she's a nice player coming off the bench for Argentina, who now pushed the lead back to 18. Lonlack. Boy, she's got a nice release. I thought she might have traveled almost.
When she gets a little space, you're right. She finds ways to score. She's really balanced when she's under that little bit of control. That's a walk.
Yeah. Well, she had the pump fake, but she's been called for the travel before.
It's the same move, and it's...
Gane's going to come into the game. That was after the alleged walk.
Tambui's having a tough night at the office. And, she's pointless. She's picking up some fouls, and she hasn't really given the team the sort of lift you'd expect from a starter.
Well, she has to sit down and think about it. So 57-40. And dangerous play, almost. Argentina almost calls the turnover. And they do indeed. They do not cope with the pressure. Cameroon. Well, Lonlack has to come out of the game. Here with 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Gonzalez back in the game, number 13. Allows Greder to sit down. They pass to Santana. Now Barani turns, passes out to a wide open Gonzalez. And strong rebound from Starling.
Well, that's a rebound from Starling, but Gonzalez is a really nice backup at the point for Argentina. They don't really change the structure in the system, the field.
And Jock forces one up, and Starling then picks up a foul, number 4. Cameroon coach believing a foul was committed on Njok when she got in on that drive, but
tough. It was a tough drive against a lot of pressure, but Starling, given she's on 3 fouls, it's like, okay, she's got it. Leave that offensive rebound alone now. And they're going to have to keep her in the game, Starling. I think that she gives them a little bit too much. They're down 17. No point taking her out now, although I think they are going to take her out.
Tenkela is going to come into the game, and Starling is going to come out. So Llorente at the free throw line, the lefty. And she drills it. So it's a very interesting, it's been an interesting game, and also the implications as you look forward if Argentina can hold on here, because still got 11.5 minutes remaining. And every time Cameroon kind of act as if they're going to get back into it. But Argentina will play Turkey in a couple of days, whereas Cameroon have to turn around and play Turkey tomorrow. So really, right now, it's decidedly the advantage for Argentina, because they would get a day to rest if they get the win. They get a chance to scout Turkey.
Yeah, and they'll need every bit of. But I think it's going to be an intriguing game. It's not too far ahead, but both teams run some great. They execute very, very well.
And look at that. That Argentina, Barani has just drawn a charge on Tenkela, Ongmo Tenkela.
You mentioned Barani when she came back into the game, Jeff, and it's like if you're coming off the bench in her type of role, you have to have impact. And she's had it at both ends. She's always aggressive. She puts her body on the line defensively. She knows her minutes are going to be backup minutes, part of the rotation. Yeah, she just gives it out there for that period of time. That could be 20 minutes, could be 30, could be 5. Doesn't matter.
She's a starter in my book. But she plays starters minutes.
Wow, but she just has impact. That's the big thing for me. She's quick. active.
Good teams need players coming off the bench.
Absolutely.
That's the ball knocked away, but Santana gets it back, gets it over to Boquete. That's good.
Wow.
And it's little things like that. And really, Argentina looking pretty good bets right now here late in the fourth quarter, still up 20.
That's the first foul in Argentina in this quarter.
How much does Argentina grow from having been at the last two Olympic qualifying tournaments? Because, you know, you don't have as many players. Greta was there, obviously.
Well, half the team was there.
At the last one.
At the last qualifying tournament.
Thomas has been there all the way back to 2008.
But Thomas was hurt and didn't play 4 years ago. And so that doesn't help him. And Vega didn't play 4 years ago because I think she had some issues. And so they've added, that's a real upgrade just in those two. Plus, Greta is 4 years older, so in that, just in that little combination, they get like a real upgrade. And Lorente's an addition because she's young, so you know there's a massive upgrade in them as a group from the team 4 years ago, and every year is going to be an upgrade with Greta.
That was good hustle by Lonlack getting the rebound. Now she's drawn a foul with 3.1 seconds remaining. Greta's going to come back into the game for Llorente. I have to say, I'd already penciled Argentina into the quarterfinal to face either Cuba or New Zealand. That's my thinking. Because I think France will win Group A, but you know, they have to prove it. Lonlack makes them first. And I think Argentina will give either of those teams a lot more than perhaps I was expecting, although Cuba will.
Well, they could end up with France, though, couldn't they? They could end up with France or Turkey.
Yeah, you never know.
That Turkey matchup with Argentina is going to be intriguing.
Yeah, that's right. I was thinking they were going to play France.
I'm looking at you know, this Argentina team as a team is going to have to guard Laura Sanders. I think that matchup-wise they're okay apart from that spot on the floor.
She's got to chuck it. She does, and it was going in the right direction, but just a little bit to the left. So Cameroon end up winning that quarter by a couple points, but still a mountain to climb. But, you know, we saw them early on. They're able to shave off some points quickly. They just have to be able to sustain it.
Yeah, and I think that's the point, Jeff. It's the relentless part of it. They got the way back, but I don't think Argentina, apart from Greta being more assertive and getting a little bit into the momentum, changed that much. It's just that Cameroon started to make some, you know, they weren't executing as well. But we said they would get closer and closer and closer in terms of the, you know, the statistical side of it. The one number that's not getting any closer is the rebound advantage that Argentina have. And the other massive advantage is that 16-8 in terms of assists. One team passes the ball with a great guard and the other team doesn't.
You kind of get the feeling looking at Cameroon play that their biggest problem is they just need some more time together.
Yeah. They need more time and more exposure to this type of level of game. And for all the great attributes that NCAA basketball has, NCAA basketball is not international basketball, it's not professional basketball. It's that little step on from NCAA basketball. And if you take Starling, she's going to be going to play pro next year, so she's going to be
she'll be in Belgium.
Yeah, she's going to be a lot better for that year of playing international basketball. So, you know, it's a process, and the tough thing for countries like Cameroon is to manage those players and keep those players engaged with the program.
Whereas Argentina, they've already been able to play in the South American Women's Championship. They've had, I know throughout the year they've gotten together and they've played. They have the familiarity from previous years. Look at Lonlack's numbers, though. Look at that.
Wow,
not a bad day at the office.
Not a bad day at the office. Just to extend your point now, apart from Greta, who was here 4 years ago, we've been impressed with Barani. Well, she was there 4 years ago, and so was
Boquete.
Boquete was there, so she's only 25, so she was a 21-year-old just starting out, really. Barani was only 20. So those players over the last 4 years, you can see what the overall development cycle is about. And sometimes as a program, you have to live with that. No, we didn't play very well, but we are going to get there. It is about a process.
Thomas. And 3 seconds, I think, the call against Argentina.
Just to extend again that point, if you can bring back people like Thomas with their veteran, their experience, and what they bring, Argentina begin then to have a lineup that you get very, very excited about.
Well, she was pivotal in this game. The way that she gave them the platform to go out and build that lead. And Jock drives in, and look who comes away with the rebound. Passes up ahead. And travel is the call.
Yeah, Santana got away with just that, picking it up and going to the middle on it. So she doesn't agree with it, but I don't know many players who ever agree with that.
The call on Greta, or was it?
Greta.
She was draped all over her. No, it was
Yeah,
down
it's an
low.
offensive down low. And you know the giveaway is when you say on me straight away, as in like, I've done something, I know I did something, but on me, and it's like, yeah, absolutely. And it was high, but Greta's getting away with little hands-on all the way through the game, so it's going to be a bit of a tough change if they make the call now.
So the foul was called on Waleje for clearing out.
Yep.
Here's Greta. This is off to Burani. And boy, nice swat that time from Ongmo Tenekela, the center from Hofstra. And wow, Lonlack just keeps pouring in the points. This thing isn't over, folks.
No,
it's a 15-point lead.
Yeah.
Cameroon have been right around here.
Single digits, Jeff. They need to get single digits. Need a couple of stops, get it under 10.
Well, that's a questionable shot from Burani. I wouldn't think that's really in her repertoire.
Not after one pass like that. It wasn't like she shot it in rhythm off of a cut.
Exactly.
And you see these things, and and Santana just went and had a word and said, we don't need that right now. It's this group has a real nice fit of togetherness. This Argentinian team. Hopefully Cameroon are going to test that if they can get right back in this.
Well, Lonlack has had the hot hand today. She drives in, and the reach and the foul has been called on Stephanie Thomas. So Lonlack has a chance to go back to the line and add to her tally. Gonzalez out of the game. And Burani comes out of the game. Vega comes back in. And Ongmo Tenekela comes out of the game as well for Cameroon. There you see Burani trying to explain why she put up that three. And Vega with the rebound. Well, an opportunity goes by the wayside, and really Cameroon need to almost start playing perfect basketball here. Greta, behind the back pass over to Greta. And Greta, a lot of rim. And the struggle for the rebound. Cameroon have got to come away with that.
Yeah, it's at that point in the game now. They're still in that hole. They're still down 14. They do need, as you said, to play perfect basketball. But the great thing again then, though, they didn't get turned. They kept the ball in front of them, so they did force Greta to take a challenge shot. Just got to secure that defensive rebound. Lonlack's now doing everything, Jeff. I think she's going to dry the floor.
She dried the ball already. Now she's drying it. Yep. Now she gives the thumbs up to the ref. Says, okay, we're okay to play now. Maybe she's a future referee. You never know.
She's doing it all at the moment.
Thomas. She had the shot, but she's patient. Gives it to Vega. The center back to Thomas. Had her feet set And that's good. Boy, that is good basketball from Thomas.
But then Jack Scummer's got to ask, why did she go down and help? You know, like Thomas is a great shooter. They were one-on-one in the post. Vega wasn't going past anyone. She's just got to stay at home one pass away.
And Jock takes a jumper. Boy, that was big time, wasn't it?
Well, she answers down this end, but they're netting down a point because they gave up the open three.
Now Vega. Boquete. And Vega splits the D and hands it off to a cutter, Santana.
Well, it sounds like I'm going to give Injug a hard time. Then they turned it over out of bounds.
What a disaster.
Injug just got beat on a front cut, got disappointed and threw it away because she was disappointed. Just played the next play, and all that good work, all completely undone now.
And the Cameroonian coach was looking down the other way. I'm not even sure he realizes there was a turnover in basket. It happened so quickly.
Oh.
And Starling, Ganja, and the block called on Greta. No, it's going to be.
Basket's good as well. They call Greta for the block. Yeah.
So potential three-point play. Look at that. So Thomas comes out, makes a couple of big plays, and Injok, that's not a highlight of her game.
No, it's just.
But unfortunately, we'll probably see that for her.
She made the nice jumper. She broke down defensively on the help when she didn't have the help. They got beat on the front cut and then compounds it by the frustration on the turnover. Cameroon have been still ticking it over, but those breakdowns, and they're back again at 16. They're eating their way. If they take away those breakdowns, it's still a 12-point game.
Yeah, I really believe the biggest problem with Cameroon is they just haven't had enough time together. They need more time.
Yep.
Anyway, it's a team that has pushed Argentina at times, and now we have a charge called on Argentina.
So those just 3 breakdowns, that's not to give the one player a hard time. That's the margins at this level. They've now got a defensive stop. They could be looking to get into single digits. The game is still there because they cut out those mental lapses. 6 minutes is a long, long time. And they've shown they've got players on the floor who can score now.
Llorente back in the game for Boquete, so this is a good minutes for her. Starling, and her pass right into the hands of Vega.
It's never ever there, was it? If it was, you had to go way above the defense.
Now Vega. And tries to go under. Good defense from Ongo Tenekela. And the quick shot from Wileje.
Again, it's a good decision, isn't it? The quick shot's not the problem. The type of shot is the issue. Would have been intriguing to see a Cameroonian team that had a lot more people that were there last year at the Afro Basket. Just more of a mix, because it's almost like a complete fresh start. And by hook or by crook, Argentina just keep re-establishing that little cushion. But they just keep making better decisions, and that probably sums it up.
Well, they had the pivotal quick start. They gave themselves that cushion. They had the great flourish, the great finish to the second quarter. And yeah, it's just they seem to be able to turn it up a notch when Cameroon starts to make that run. And
if you're watching this game, if you're Turkey watching this game, you're like, well, at halftime it looked like we'll be okay. We'll have a run out against Cameroon before we have to play Argentina. But this Cameroon team could damage people because they just have to reduce the mental mistakes. If they reduce the mental mistakes, they're not going to give people 10-point margins just by making those mistakes.
You saw that Argentina, with that stat there, they shot 62% in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I've got some questions about Turkey. They came out strong this summer. We watched them last year at the Eurobasket Women, and they had to pull out all stops just to get to this place.
Absolutely, it was a great game against them, and Russia was a
battle for 5th place.
Absolutely. It was going to be whatever way that game went. It was a tough one. And you know, I keep thinking Turkey, I've been so, right back to 2011 when they made a Eurobasket final, always been impressed and impressed and impressed. But the team is maybe getting ready for a transitional period. So now and again, there are good times to play good teams. And maybe that might be the time for Argentina and Cameroon to play them. But Lara Sanders is just such a great basketball player that Turkey are going to be a great ask for anyone to beat.
Oh, that was good effort that time from Starling, because that was going to be a layup for Santana. 15 on the shot clock. Now Greta, Lonlack on her. Greta's tough in this situation. Goes behind her back. Gets into the lane. Puts up the layup and in.
She's just fun to watch, isn't she?
Yeah, she is one of those worth the price of admission players. Starling inside, banks it in. Okay, we're under 5 minutes to go now. 4:45 remaining. It's either now or never time for Cameroon. They're going to have to turn up the pressure defensively and try to get some turnovers, and that is no easy task with Greta on the floor for Argentina. Argentina should be in no rush, really, to take jump shots, should they?
Time and possession is what it should be, and shots from there.
Wow. Good execution from Vega. She's got 15 points. They've really spread the points out well.
You know, again, in this situation, they took time off the clock, and they still got it inside. Greta took time off the clock and actually penetrated to score. They're a very smart basketball team.
Lonlack's jump shot, no good. I'll tell you what's crucial right now for this Cameroon team. They have got to keep playing hard, because they can't, they don't want to be on the receiving end of a bad result. Because if you end up with, you know, 3 teams with 1-1 records, you know, it comes down to point differential or goal differential.
Yeah, and they are the sort of team that could sneak a win. And if that win is on Turkey, they're killing themselves here if they lose by 20. Because they're not going to, whatever happens, they're not going to blow Turkey away. So.
We'll see the Argentina squad come out here and watch that game tomorrow. Turkey, Cameroon.
One of those interesting things, isn't it? You know, coaches have different views on that sort of stuff. If they don't come, they can watch it on online or on the coverage here in France. So they'll be able to get a view. But
they're welcome to watch us.
Bienvenidos
todos.
It'll be improving their English.
Well, Greta brings it across midcourt. 3.5 minutes remaining. 18 points. The deficit for Cameroon. They've got a lot to play for here in the last 3.5 minutes, Cameroon. They just got to keep fighting. Remember that the possibility, even if they don't win, getting to a 3-way tie. Of course, it'll be difficult. They'll have to beat Turkey for that to happen. Boquete. And Fiorotto. Now Starling has it taken away by Greta. What doesn't she do? Well, she is a star.
It's one of those, you know, like you watch basketball players that love to play.
Yeah.
She just loves everything. She wants, I mean, she's trying to throw that pass. Apologizes to the coach straight away, but it's like, hey, you know, she almost buys that,
she's coming
earns
out for
that opportunity. I think she was coming anyway. Gonzalez was already at the bench, but she was a good young talent 4 years ago. She's a player now.
All-Star 5 selection last year at the FIBA Americas Women's Championship. And nice stroke. We've seen it a couple of times tonight from Wileje. And Gonzalez hands it off to Fiorotto. 16 points, the deficit. Can't emphasize enough the need for Cameroon to reduce this deficit for the potential tiebreaker. Santander has Fiorotto in. She hasn't played much in the second half. He's got Llorente in. He's got Borani in. Those are all young players. Gonzalez also in the game. He's only 26. Llorente rims out. Now Villeje. Yanja. Free. That's good. Wow. Just like that, 15-point game.
It's one of those what might have been moments really for Cameroon. They keep getting it to this 10, 12, 13-point margin.
But at least they're reducing the deficit, and now we got 3 seconds to call. So Cameroon with a chance to get it back to within 10 or 11. Christian Santander, the coach, as you look at Bianja celebrating the 3, arguing about the 3-second call.
Now, referees are very, very reluctant to make that 3-second call. So if they make it, you know you've been in there for a very, very long time. And they've been called for a couple, so there's some consistency.
Look at this. He knows what's at stake.
Okay. But you know what, Jeff? It's like one of those things. He now has a complete lineup of backups and rotation players in the game. And everyone knows that they're in the game in that scenario. Okay. So it's sometimes you find that in some ways he's giving them a hard time. It's like, yeah, but I'm only in because we're winning by this many. It's a hard one. Okay. But like the other way he will look at it is, I'm giving you a chance to prove you can play more. Yeah. It's he's doing it all in one chance. And if he's worried about the margin, then play the whole game through with your starters and win by as many as you can, if that's what he's interested in doing.
Well, here's what we've seen from Melissa Gretter today. You saw those stats. Look at this. She does a little bit of everything.
Well, her stat line, Jeff, is so impressive. She's like, she played 29 minutes. She's like 4 from 9 and 2 from 2 from the 3-point line. You know, 2 from 7 from the 3. She's just had an all-round game. She has rebounds, she's assists. There isn't, and I think in all that time, just one turnover. She doesn't hurt you in any way. She is just a level of a player now. She's going to have an intriguing matchup when they play Turkey.
Here's Bianja. She gets inside, gets the contact, does very well. That's exactly, that was at bare minimum what she wanted, was to get to the line.
Yep. Difference that time though is she took her time, didn't like just throw it up and hope.
I'll tell you what, she makes these 2 free throws, you're back to 11 points, and you start wondering.
You get another stop, and there's still over a minute to go. You have an outside, you have a shot. They still have a foul to give, but they've got to make throws.
Yeah, she misses the free throw. That's not what the doctor ordered.
No.
I think Santander is going to bring Bopete back into the game. She missed both. So at least she gets on the ground after the ball. And we got a jump ball situation. Llorente scrapping away there for Argentina with Bianja. So possession arrows, short possession arrow from Cameroon. They've got it. Look at this. And it was Bianja that reached in. Llorente couldn't quite pull away with it. So Bianja has it. Here's Lonlack. Entry pass to Njok, puts it up. And Njok, well, she was surrounded by about 3 or 4 Argentinian players there. That was a tough shot to take.
And Argentina should really see this out in their time of possession for them. They still have a foul to give. You thought they might have gone after it a bit more aggressively still with that foul to give.
Gonzalez misses it late in the shot clock, and another offensive rebound for Argentina. Incredible. Llorente. Pass, and Njok chasing it. Good hustle with 1 second What is the play going to be? We're going to have a timeout by Santander. He wants to get something going to the rim, perhaps.
Right, he's got that 1 second option to try and get him. I can't understand that. They've got one foul to give. They could really aggressively go after it. What's the worst case? The ball's on the side. They've got a chance to set their defense up and try and steal it again before they end up in the penalty. So Argentina will probably run on some sort of back screen play here and get the 2, and that'll just ice the game for them. But 16 rebound advantage for Argentina has been pretty decisive.
And that's maybe something that you wouldn't have expected with the athleticism of Cameroon.
I wouldn't have expected Argentina to have that big an advantage over this Cameroonian team if they'd have just played hard, just worked and rotated. And most of that margin was built in the first half. The margin was 11 rebounds in the first half. They have they have grown into the game, which is your point that they have more of this level. Yeah, they have more games, more level of this.
It's one of the challenges that all of the coaches talk about. They say, you know, this year is different. We don't have much time to get ready, but you know what? It's the same for everybody.
And that's why having a program where Argentina are, where you're bringing all those returning players back, it's not going to take you long to start to get back to where you were. You're building from scratch. That's a tough ask.
They have been together for several weeks. Don't forget, they also played in the tournament at the Olympic tournament, the Olympic test event back in January with Brazil and Argentina and Venezuela. And they get it inside. What a play. Can't believe Cameroon almost gave that away.
And then you can't believe that Llorente missed what was, to all intents and purposes, an open layup.
Lonlack puts it up and in, and it's back to 11, 44 seconds. Well, they've given themselves a chance now, I think, Cameroon.
They still have a foul to give. You know, get after it, see if you can create that steal. Who knows, you might come up with it.
If they can get it down, if they can get a couple more baskets, that is the ideal scenario for Cameroon at this point. In terms of that goal differential tiebreaker that we're talking about. Of course, they'll have to beat Turkey tomorrow for that to come into play.
They're still not going to try and get the steal. Now they foul with only 9 seconds left on the possession, and doesn't seem to make sense in the situation. And now they're going to take a timeout with 28.5. The scenario is the outside chance of the win is obviously gone, but as you say, the margin could become a factor, because if they grow from this game and get better, then they could be a difficult proposition for Turkey tomorrow.
Congeler l'attaque, on va faire les trappes, les 3 petites. Les 3 petites, on va faire les trappes. Ok.
Ahora Melissa, pase. Si queda ahí 5 abierta, esperando que te corte. Andrea anda a buscar a Pepo para ocupar a estas 2 defensoras.
Let me ask you this question, Mark. With Argentina, you know, we've been singing their praises, but how do you assess them on the evidence today against the Cameroon team that many people didn't really project being that good?
I'm more Argentina have looked like a strong basketball playing team. They're fundamentally very sound. Their execution in transition as much as everything else, and they have a couple of real quality players. So they're a very good basketball team. I would be more inclined to say, well, Cameroon, given all their issues of being not together, have actually overachieved in many ways.
Yeah.
And that bodes well for them going forward. But Argentina, even now, look like a basketball team. And now they foul with only 4 seconds on the possession. And you're like, if you're going to foul or go after it, do it early. It's it's very easy to sit here and make those sort of observations, but
I could be wrong, but that looked like a little bit of 4 corners there. See that? Yeah. The way they were.
Yeah, with Greta orchestrating, she was always going to become available, and she's making the right pass.
She was playing the part of Phil Ford.
Now that's an amazing comparison. That if she realizes who you've compared her to, she'll be pleased with that.
He's waiting for the FIBA Hall of Famer Dean Smith. His four corners offense. So the final 12 seconds. Lonlack, she's going to put it up, and it's going to be an air ball, and Burani. Starling asking why there was no foul call. Watch this. Oh, they're saying she blocked it.
Yeah, there's a tip on it. The Canadian official right on it. She's looking exactly where she should, which is what you've got to be impressed with referees, that they always look where they should look.
Well, this is a big opportunity here for Cameroon, and Jock puts it up and in. Boy, that was a tough shot. So they get it back to 11. I don't think you want to foul here because you're going to increase.
You're not going to win it, so don't foul it now. Make them make a shot.
And so they have to settle for an 11-point deficit. And Argentina settled. You can see they wanted to get that last basket to get that goal differential or point differential back up. I have to say, a very entertaining game all the way around. Argentina winning it 75-64 over Cameroon.
Well, those statistics, it's almost like they needed another quarter to get it to that sort of scenario. The 60-odd% from the field in the first period gets down to under 15. Cameroon build it up as they get better. They just couldn't manage it. The rebound advantage just really hurt them. But the difference between the two teams, 20 assists against 13 assists. Greta and this Argentinian team share the ball really, really nicely. They get a lot of good looks, and that's half the reason that they had the lead. But you made the point throughout the whole game. That start from Argentina just opened the game up exactly how they needed it, and in the end they win by 11. Well, they built that lead in the first period. That's a pretty decent team performance. It sets them up nicely for what could be an intriguing clash with Turkey.
Yeah, I think so. I think as you look at the leading scores there, Lonlack with the 25, she was terrific overall. Thomas only had 12, but boy, she set the table nicely for Argentina.
Well, 7 of those in the first 3 minutes of the game.
You know, this is a team, Argentina now, look, they know the pressure is off a little bit because they can rest, they can watch Turkey. They think that Cameroon probably will not beat Turkey, so they probably thinking, we know we're going to play in that next game. And on the other hand, they're going to give themselves a chance against Turkey, and I don't see why they shouldn't.
Well, they match up really well in key areas for me. In the back court, if the backup, if Gonzalez can do a decent job, then Greta could be a real handful. I know she's going up against one of the best guards in Europe in Ilza Alban, but she's got the game that she can play.
Well, she's going up against other great guards as well, Bristol Verdarli, Zimmerman. But this Argentina team is organized. They look together. The way they run their offensive sets, I mean, it's that Argentinian mentality, isn't it? You see it in the men's program as well.
Yep.
They run their sets. They just do the basics very well.
They play very well for each other. That's in that set stuff. They give up a lot of their own for everybody else. And because they know everyone's doing that, they know they're going to get good looks.
So one last time, 75-64, Argentina, I guess you could say win it comfortably, relatively comfortably over Cameroon. But Cameroon have shown us enough to know that they're going to be dangerous against Turkey. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you.